Thank you, Ashley. I am here asking students whether they agree that loans and debt appear to be manageable for most students, and whether public perception on the issue is different than reality, in accordance with the brief prepared internally for the federal conservative government. This brief comes after months of protests by various student groups on campus, lobbying for lower tuition fees and debt levels.
I would say I'm in student debt right now. I think I owe about $8,000 to $10,000 right now with OSAP. And right now, obviously, we don't have to pay until 6 months after we graduate, right? But as a student myself, I still haven't figured out how I'm going to pay them back exactly. So I need to have the responsibility to figure out how am I going to pay these guys back, because I made the decision being conscious of the fact that I will have to pay them back.
While Joshua Asare said he believes debt is the responsibility of students, he also said the government can do more to help ease the burden of paying them back.
So I feel like as students it is manageable, but I agree on the government side that they should maybe lower down tuition just a little bit, make it a little bit more easier, maybe a better compensation by like extending the period until the money becomes like full of interest, you know what I'm saying? It should be maybe a year.
The Canadian Federation of Students say the average Canadian student's debt hovers around $27,000.
I've been in school for 8 years now. I'm doing my PhD, and I have around $35,000 in debt, $40,000 in debt. I have $25,000 of government student loans, and then also $15,000 of a private student loan from a bank.
According to the Toronto Star, a public service document made for Jason Kenney, former Director of Employment and Social Development Canada, said, despite mounting attention to the issue, debt levels appear to be manageable for the vast majority of Canadian students.
It's not manageable for me, and it's not manageable for a lot of students I talk to every day in this position as president of the GSA. People are sinking in debt. Tuition fees are far too high, and a lot of universities have the ability to freeze or lower tuition, and the provincial government and the federal government should be framing tuition and post-secondary education as a public good, and should be lowering tuition and making it more accessible.
We reached out to the federal government, but current Employment Minister Pierre Poilievre has yet to comment. Campaigns to lower tuition continue on Carleton's campus, with debt levels expected to rise as education costs continue to grow faster than inflation, as the brief states. Back to you, Ashley.